Character development is when a character experiences a gradual change, usually into becoming a better person, but it can be incredibly hard to pull it off correctly. That's where I'm here to help you writers. And disclaimer for this video and all of my videos, you do not have to ask me to use any of my story ideas ever. Story ideas mean literally nothing. It's all about the execution, the characters, and so on and so forth. Okay, on to the video. Character development must be character driven in your story. The character should want to change in order for them to change. Have you ever tried to get someone to change when they didn't want to? Pretty hard, isn't it? I'm going to give you an example of Max, a typical Gacha bad boy who wants to change his old ways because of how it's affecting his relationships with his friends and his family. Let's say he's addicted to smoking and he made his parents go into debt because of his addiction, so he wants to change. This shows that he cares about his friends and his family. But how is Max going to actually change? You can't have a character change overnight, and you can't quit an addiction like smoking easily. Max could try to change his addiction in many ways, like going into rehab or trying to cure it by himself, etc., etc. But these things take time, a lot of time, and if Max realized his addiction was harming the ones he cared about in the beginning of the story, then he would be improved by the end of the story. Character development is slow, so in the middle of the story you should show that the character is halfway to the character development. Character development is more like a gradient, where at certain points in the story they are changed somewhat, improved, but not fully changed yet. If you imagine a gradient of two different colors, there will be a mixture of the two colors in the middle, and depending on where you are in the story, that could be representative of the character development. But not all character development has to be positive. This is the negative character arc, where someone, instead of improving themselves, they go downhill. This usually happens to villains, and their character arc shows the hero how easy it is for them to go down into villainy. I'm gonna give you another example, Emily. Emily was a typical Gacha nerd character who got bullied daily at school, until one day she couldn't take it anymore and smacked one of the bullies, which got her in trouble. Everyone thought that she was some kind of psycho that attacked people for no reason. After many failed attempts to correct her image, she decided to embrace her image as a villain, but things quickly went out of hand for her. Negative character arcs are not characters you should aspire to, so please don't write them in that way. They are usually tragic figures of someone the hero could have been. They could have been so much more than what they are, and if they only had someone to guide them to good instead of evil, etc., etc. And lastly, there should be consequences for your character's actions, both good and bad actions. Think of a drop of water falling into a puddle and how it ripples out across that puddle of water. That's what your character's action should do, kind of ripple out and affect the people around them and the people around those people. If a character of yours dies, then not only would it affect their friends and family, but they might go out and tell people that they were close to about the death, and so on and so forth. And you can use this for good actions too. If your character helped out another character, like they saved their life, then word of this good deed could spread, through a ripple effect. But you shouldn't have a ripple effect for everything your character does. If your character flicks on a light switch, that's only going to affect the people in that room. I recommend having a ripple effect for the big actions like murder or saving someone's life. And also, big actions like murder and saving someone's life should also affect the person who's doing them. For example, if your character has done a lot of murder, then that would make them either emotionless or crazy or something like that. And if your character does like a good action, that could make them like proud or something. So yeah, that's my video. I hoped it helped some of you out. Bye.